Hi everyone, it's Anand. Welcome back. In this series of remote desktop services, this episode we are going to add another VM and add that VM to domain and then install remote desktop services. In the last episode, we created and installed Active Directory. So this is our Active Directory and this Active Directory is online. Let me switch on the other VM. Let me rename this server as well. Let's add this server to the domain. I know why it cannot connect to domain controller. Let's check the network properties. Let's assign a static IP address. And also I will use the DNS server of my DC. So it's 192.168.127.129. Let me use that same subnet mask and default gateway dot 2 192.168.127.129 subnet mask default gateway 192.168.127.2 and DNS server 192.168.127.128. Okay. Now let's try again. Let's make sure DC is reachable. That looks great. So let's try to add it to domain again. Okay, that looks good. Okay, that's successful. Server will restart. Let's log in. Let server manager start. manage, add roles and features. We are going to do remote desktop service installation. In production environment, we'll select standard deployment. For lab environment, we can do quick start and it installs all the services and creates collection and publish remote app in a single server. Let's see how this standard deployment looks. I need to log into the server again with the domain account. Let me switch user. Let's add remote desktop services. Let's go with standard deployment so that we can see how we can install each role. We need RDS for remote app programs and we don't need it for the separate virtual machines. So let's select session based desktop deployment. Next, it says remote desktop connection broker, remote desktop web access, remote desktop session host will be installed. So we have only one server. Let's add this server. Next, select a server from the server pool on which to install RD Web Access role. Install the RD Web Access role service on the RD connection broker server. So it will use the same server. Now select the servers from the server pool on which to install RD session host role. If more than one server is selected, RD session host role service will be deployed on all of them. So we have only one server, but in production there will be separate server for each role. So let's select the server, click next. So there is a list and it says restart the destination server automatically if required. Let's check that box and we need to click on deploy. It's going to take some time. Server is restarted. Let's check if roles are installed. Let's wait for server manager to load. So installation is still in progress. So it says succeeded. Let's close this dialog box. And we have this remote desktop services. Let's check what do we have. So we have on overview, we can see we have three roles: RD connection broker, RD session host, and RD web access. Now we have two other things pending. We need to add RD gateway and we need to add RD licensing. Let's add RD gateway. I'm going to use the same server because I'm in a lab, but in production environment, we'll be adding a separate server for gateway and most probably two server so that it will be in high availability. Let's give it a name. So remote.apnasysadminpro.com, add. It says succeeded. Let's close.